Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we are continuing on the trade breakdown series with a trade that I took 2 days ago on New Zealand dollar. So before we jump in, as always, if you could just please leave a like under the video, I would truly appreciate it because I try as always to bring you guys as much value, and the only thing I would like is a like in return. That would support me and that would show me if you guys actually like that type of videos or not. Alright, so like I said, I took a trade 2 days ago on New Zealand dollar. That trade ended up as a good trade. Here is the screenshot of the profit that I posted in my story on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do that right here. But basically, it was initially it was more of a mid/long-term trade, but today I basically saw a reversal potential, which is why I closed the trade, or I should say it's one of the main reasons why I decided to close the trade. And in that video, we will basically break down this trade and I will show you guys where I took the trade, my stop, my target, my analysis, and just my overall view of what I was looking for with it. So just a reminder before we start, if you would like to learn more about trading, work with me personally, with our group as well, learn how to read those charts and all of those things, just check out the first link in the description box below and it will bring you over to my website, which is my trading course. And there you will find all the information about the course and how you can join us. Alright, so enough talking, let's jump on my chart and take a look at this trade. Okay, so we are now on my chart. Let's take a look at this New Zealand dollar trade. So as I said, I made 1.7% growth of my trading account on that specific one trade. So that was a pretty good one. And as always, well, I will show you guys where I took the trade, my stop, my target, my analysis, and all of these things. So as always, let's start with the higher picture. So what we have on the daily is something that looks like this. Now, I will not explain all the reasons why I think that this will continue upside some more to match this wave. There are many reasons for that, but that is basically my overall and long-term view on New Zealand dollar. So big picture overall, on the long term, I think we will see more upside here. So that was the general view of the market. And now when I went on the lower time frame, well, I simply waited for a trade setup to basically continue on that same direction. So when we go on the 4 hour, you can see here that we made a deeper correction, which eventually I was expecting to happen. If you guys remember, I actually made a video about a trade, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago on New Zealand dollar that I also took, and that ended up as a good trade. So I took a sell right here and I closed the trade right here at the very low. So that was another trade that was showing, and if you remember in that video, I said that after this little reversal that we had, I said that there were a lot of possibilities for this to continue upside, which is exactly what it did. So I was also right about that forecast, but basically, as you see, when we broke the low here, we continued upside and we reversed after this correction. So the first potential trade setup for me, well, it was right here. That was the best one to take because other ones had more possibilities of downside, put it that way. So my entry here was not because of the gap. I know that some of you guys were thinking that when I posted, that screenshot of, oh, you took the gap or whatever. No, I don't trade according to the gaps or anything like that. It has nothing to do with my strategy. It's about the structure, and what we already had on the chart was very clear that it was going upside. So anyway, so I took the trade right here. As you can see, that was my entry. My stop was here. I will come back to that later to explain why. And my target, well, as I said, I was expecting a very long-term upside on the daily, so my target was way above here. But at the same time, I knew in my head that if I were to see a potential reversal, then I would take my profit because there is still a possibility for even a bigger correction in that area here, basically. So my entry basically, well, this one was pretty simple. I mean, we had this impulse, we had this nice correction, and when we broke out of the correction, well, I simply have been able to take the trade right here. So nothing really more complex than that. Now, the stop loss was also pretty simple to place in that situation, simply because we did not have many other possibilities than this. This was the correction. The last low of the correction was this one right here, so I just put the stop lower than this level. Why? Because if this would have gone down and actually, you know, go through that level and hit my stop, then it would mean that this and the overall picture here as well was not making the structure I was expecting, and that would have been the best moment to actually take out my trade. But good for me, it did not happen that way. So I took the trade here and it simply made this nice upside here. We had another possibly buy setup here, which I did not take, but that was a possible trade for those who were not already involved in the trade. And then, well, I let the trade run, and this morning I saw, first of all, this little channel here at the top. It's a little hard to see. Let me just zoom in for you guys. Now this is much easier to see, right? So we have this, and when we broke out of here, I waited a little bit because this could have been just a, you know, small pullback here and then continue upside. So I waited sometimes, but then when we actually broke out of the main channel, which was right here, made a small correction here and then drop, well, I took my I closed the trade basically at this level right here. So that was the profit that I made on that trade. It was not a, you know, a very big trade, but it was still a good trade. And now, well, as it's developing right now, I think that there is a possibility for more downside because it's trying to break out of this trend right here, and we're getting a small correction there. So I will not be surprised to even see more downside, which would mean that I close my trade at a very good place considering how it's developing. So that was pretty much it for the trade in itself. I mean, it was not, like I said, a very complicated trade. It was just a trend continuation trade, and I just waited for a nice setup to actually get in the trade. So once again, that was my entry. My stop was there. My target was way above because we could get a long-term upside. So that was the trade breakdown on New Zealand dollar. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I hope that you like it. If you did, please share it around with other people, because if it helped you, then once again, it's likely going to help another person. All right? So thank you for watching. Take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.